Peter Barres of Mechacon, and this is the big interview!
Wait, what?
The D-List! Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the D-List. I'm here today with Mr. John Russo and Peter Barres, co-owners of Mechacon, Louisiana's largest and most amazing anime convention. So, I have a couple questions for you guys, and I know a lot of people are excited about this interview. I know I am, for sure. Okay, so I guess we'll just dive straight into the questions. Well, first off, are you excited to be here? Whatever. Okay, so my first question for you guys is, and I think everyone wants to know this, is how did you come up with the idea of Mechacon?
Well, back in 2004, we decided that there was a need for an anime convention in Louisiana, and we decided to, fill the void with a new show.
Speaking of filling the voids, hi Peter.
Hi.
You single?
Kind of attached at the moment.
Oh. Well. Alright, so you just filled a void. So, my next question, I guess, for you guys is how do you feel you've grown since year one? Like, in what way? No.
I was looking at my belly. What would you? Oh, damn, D! Come on now.
Okay. Whew. So since year one, which you had a total of attendance of how much year one?
750 with a hurricane.
700.
Yeah.
And that was the year of Hurricane Katrina. It was a tragic event, but somehow you managed to pull an amazing anime convention out of it. What was your attendance last year, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, we have two numbers because we discovered that most anime conventions in the country go by turnstile count.
Okay.
Which is kind of like you have the bigger venues and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that's like each time, like there's a turnstile. It's like the same person can go through that turnstile. Like,
right. The same person attends 3 days. That's three.
So that's three. So if they buy a 3-day pass, they count as 3.
Turnstile count, we had 11,300. And warm bodies, I think that equated to what, 5,800 warm body, individual bodies?
No, it's more than that. It was.
It was 11,300.
Yeah.
We'll just go to 11,300.
That's pretty amazing.
I mean, that's the way that other conventions do it. So we need to.
So we're close to 7,000.
11,300.
Yeah.
11,300.
So obviously you have people that do this for you.
Yes.
Maths are hard, yes.
Okay, so obviously there was exponential growth. Which I guess would lead me to my next question. I guess you have to rely a lot on your staff to help out. It's not a one-man job to run a huge convention like you guys have. So, like, how would you describe your relationship between you and your staff?
Drift compatible.
I like that.
We love them. It can be hit and miss at times, but
we always say, like, you can't run like a clubhouse, like you have to run it as a business, but there is like a family aspect of it. Like you watch out for each other, like in case somebody needs to take a break, you're always there for them, like throughout, like from the end of the convention to the planning of the next convention to the end of the convention after that. Always got each other's backs.
Well, yeah, and I assume like other conventions, you probably have meetings at least once a month. So I'm sure like getting to know your staff all the time is sort of like you get to know them and you form bonds with them.
We feel it's important to have monthly meetings, which become eventually bi-weekly to weekly as we get closer to the con, because we feel that everybody on staff should know the event inside and out by the time we get to it. Because if there's one thing that Peter and I, since year one, have instilled in our staff is that somebody asks you a question, I never want to hear you say, that's not my job.
Right.
You do your
You
best
don't know
to
the
help
answer,
somebody.
you go find out.
It's a good thing to have. And I've actually heard that you guys, and this is not a question I had listed, but it brings a good point, that you guys have a Disney mentality about you.
Yeah. We like Disney, we don't like to let people see the grease on the wheels. Basically, we want you to come into the Magic Kingdom and don't worry about how the magic happens. Just enjoy the magic.
Just enjoy the magic. You wouldn't be caught, or you wouldn't see Snow White smoking a cigarette, with the 7 dwarves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Understandable. It's pretty cool. It's worked for you thus far, and I say keep at it. This is a fun question. What was your best moment from any con, or your con in general? Best moment.
Personal or con moment?
Personal. Let's go personal.
Personal moment. Year 4.
Okay.
Ilaria Graziano and Francesco Forni had flown in from Italy, and they were our musical guests.
I remember.
Along with Lisa Furukawa, the incomparable Lisa Furukawa. And to rehearse, because Lisa was going to be accompanying them, they actually went to Peter's house to rehearse, and I brought them there. So I was in the kitchen, getting some tea and stuff ready for everybody, and I hear Ilaria Graziano's song, I Do. I'm getting the frisson just I hear it from the living room, and I love that song. I've already said I want that song at my funeral. But I just the surreal moment of walking out of that kitchen into the living room and seeing Lisa on the piano and Ilaria standing next to her singing live. I was awestruck to the point of tears. It was just so beautiful. So much so that I've actually Lisa had me scheduled that if and when I pass, I want her and Hila to perform that at my funeral.
That's pretty amazing.
And he stopped what he was doing and recorded on his camera phone. And I got a text immediately like, "You need to see this." And there's this moment happening. And you watch the DVDs, you experience this music all the time, and then it's happening right there live in your living room. So
I can just about imagine that was a magical thing.
Incomparable.
Not many people get the chance to see something like that, so especially to be there, I'm sure it was really touching. And
to me, that was I'm getting a little misty-eyed remembering it. To me, that was the crowning. I mean, no, a lot of great moments, but that one right there was it was magical.
I remember I was there for that Mechacon. I was at every single one actually, and that Mechacon I did manage to catch the Hila and Lisa show, and I remember just being there and saying how just glorious it was. Beautiful. There's no voice I've heard that compares to Lisa or Hila's. They're amazing. They really are. So I guess it was worth bringing them in.
God, one of these days, Hila's coming back.
She's coming back.
One day. I don't know when, I don't know how, but one day we're bringing her back. We love you, Hila.
Okay. Peter, what about you?
Hard to top that one.
Yeah, I don't know. Like knowing at each show, like the bills are all paid, nothing's burning or whatever. Like everything is still solvent.
Knock on wood.
I don't know. I don't really have a favorite memory from.
There was that memory of 2:30 in the morning watching Mike Dobson looking at sticks passing in that one little beam of light on the Vermilion, thinking it was alligators.
It was alligators.
It was pitch black. It was the Hilton Lafayette, and we were on the dock, and they were just standing there, and there was this one light, and it shone right across the river, and everything that would cross in the current over that. That's a gator. That's a gator. That's a gator. No, Mike. No, not everything's a gator. So.
It's pretty awesome. It's fun to get to know like voice actors, I'm sure, and like all these celebrities, getting to know them.
For the most part,
singing.
Awesome.
We're not going to touch that one. I guess that would lead me to. That's perfect. You saying for the most part they're awesome. How do you handle situations? Like, and by situations I mean like either.
Danny Carter.
Can you tell me who that is?
Danny Carter's our chief of security.
I know who he is, but for everyone else, please explain.
He's Danny Carter. He's our chief of security. If you see an angry Irish man with a badge running around Mechacon, that was him.
So anytime there's a situation, you call for Danny and he gets it.
Carter.
It also goes back to like having like the monthly meetings and the progression meetings after that. It's like we get to go over all sorts of possible situations. We have a code of conduct. We have a staff manual. So many people on the staff are kind of aware of how they should handle a situation if something arises.
Okay.
How to deal with in case like you're dealing with a.
So your staff is well trained.
Anything from like.
Well, and we also, it sounds cliche, but we're a family. We really genuinely are,
right.
And we look out for each other, just as you would, if your brother or your sister were having a problem and you could help, you wouldn't just say, "Oh, screw you," unless you really have a bad day with them. But for the most part, you help them, and that's the way the staff is at Mechacon. That if somebody's having trouble, other staff members are going to come to their aid.
That's pretty amazing. That's
camaraderie. Like we got stuck in that freight elevator for what, 3 hours, I think.
That was the Marriott.
It was the Marriott. Yeah.
You were. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Let's go off question for a second. You were stuck in a freight elevator.
It was loading day, trying to get all the vendors in, I get one of the pallet jacks. I get in the freight elevator, stuck in between floors.
And for those of you who don't know, a freight elevator is sort of one of the most terrifying things I've experienced. It's not all fancy and pretty like a normal elevator in a hotel. It's kind of made of metal and wire. And
it's the hotel. It's the elevator you use to take the garbage out.
Yeah, it's really, really quite terrifying. And it's actually, it's big, but I'm assuming when it stopped, it seems a lot
You were in a
smaller.
little freight elevator, weren't you?
Yeah, when you're stuck in a freight elevator,
it seems a lot
size is
smaller.
kind of at that point. But yeah, for 3 hours with a piece of critical equipment, loading day, vendors.
And me calling, Pete, where are you?
Little did you know.
Updating my Facebook. Click.
Stuck in a freight elevator, BRB.
That was our very first day of our very first show in New Orleans.
Oh
Just
my
loading up.
goodness. I can't imagine. Well, I'm sorry that happened to you.
We
Do you need a
laughed.
hug?
No.
Okay. Well, I guess
Sure?
that's...
I think he's offering.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, I guess that's your worst thing you've ever experienced, which was my next question. Or do you have something worse than that?
I don't know, I'm still twitching. Yeah.
I'll give you a second. John, what's the worst thing you've ever experienced dealing?
We've lost a few people.
That
Yeah,
was...
the truth, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Amanda and Leslie. Both
Amanda
staff.
was she worked at the Hilton Lafayette. She worked in their F&B department. We could always see her like running around the floor wearing her cat ears and dressing in costume and
we invited her
being
to be our
fabulous.
head of main events, and she succumbed to a mysterious illness. We still don't to this day know what it was that killed her.
No.
And before she was ever able to do it, it was our first year in New Orleans, she passed away. And also that same year, Carl Masick, good friend of ours, creator of Robotech,
Right.
he passed away that year too. And then more recently, last year, as a lot of attendees saw at the
Opening ceremonies.
well, not just opening ceremony, but outside of the artist alley, there was
Right.
a memorial for Leslie, who had been playing Z for the last 2 years. And it's anytime you lose anybody, it's tragic, you know, especially.
Losing a family.
Well, yeah, you were just
like
saying
that.
how you guys are a family, I'm sure. I had the pleasure of knowing both Amanda and Leslie, and it was hard to lose them. Well, I'm sure they're looking down on us, and they're
laughing their
asses
asses off at everything that we're doing.
I'm sure they're excited, and I'm sure they're really excited to see where the convention is going, even though they can't be a part of it anymore. Well,
they'll
always be a part of it. They'll absolutely always be there. I guess the last question I'm gonna ask is, what would you say is the best thing you've learned from all of this whole experience? What's the one thing you want if Mechacon did not happen this year? Which it is, right?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I've got contracts signed through 2016. So
Okay. So,
or are we?
or are we? If Mechacon would not hypothetically happen this year, what's the one thing you are going to take from this whole experience? These 9 years of running an anime
I'm taking all the
convention?
money. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, God.
I'm kidding. There's no money to be had. No, and that I'm glad I brought that up.
It's a good
all the
point.
money goes back into the con. People think we get money.
Yeah. I know your staff isn't paid.
No,
They're all
we're not paid.
volunteers.
Right.
They do this out the kindness of their heart. They do it because they love a convention.
Right. But what we have taken from the convention?
What would you have taken from it? Like what's the one thing you have taken from this experience? Like what?
Well, the one thing that matters. Love.
Oh, that's really adorable.
In the end, yeah. In the end, that's what matters, right?
It's true. It is.
And
it is. What
there's been a
matters.
lot of love over the years.
Well, that's good. Do you guys have anything you want to add?
Actually, something we can take away.
Can you let us go, please?
Yeah.
Well, I really thank y'all for being with me, and I don't know if I'm going to let you go quite yet. Could you maybe give us a preview of what's to come for Mechacon this year? Anything you want to?
Not a damn thing if I can't get on.
It's
I'll tell you
fine.
what. If you let me go, you can have him.
I need a key. I need a key. Someone give me a key. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of The D-List. Signing off with John Russo and Peter Barres of Mechacon. Thank you so much for watching.
Have fun storming the castle.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the pilot episode of The D-List. If you liked what you saw, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. If you really liked us, leave us a comment and maybe share us on your Facebook and or Twitter. Big thanks to Cinnamon Productions LLC, the producers of Mechacon, one of the largest and longest running anime conventions on the Gulf Coast. They run August 1st through 3rd, 2014. Be sure to check out their website. I'll put a link down below. Also, big thanks to my cast and crew. Be sure to check out their pages. Links down below in the comments. And don't forget to come back for a new video every 2 weeks. Because let's face it, you know you want the D.
It would be a mitzvah.
Okay, alright.